Franklin, Tennessee, technically Arrington, Tennessee, but nearby Franklin is the nearest larger city that people would be familiar with. And then if you're not familiar with Franklin, that is in the greater Nashville area, more or less. And I have rented a little Airbnb. I'm going to be here for 2 nights. I have 1 night and then half a day left. I've already been here 1 night. But I've been having a fun time. This is actually, to get into what I actually want to talk about, this is actually the first time I have ever traveled completely solo for more than just a day trip. This is the first time I've gone somewhere by myself, stayed overnight, did stuff just by myself, didn't have anybody else hanging out with me. And it's been a learning experience, and I feel like a growing experience, because I'm very comfortable being alone. I'm very introverted. I love to have alone time. I've stayed alone in houses before. None of that is new to me. But what is new to me is going somewhere outside of my comfort zone alone. I usually have people with me who are kind of like little security blankets, so that if I get lost or if I get confused or if the traffic is overwhelming, I have somebody with me to kind of help guide me through whatever is going on, or even just to be support and to know that I'm not just by myself screwing things up all alone. I'm kind of figuring out that I need to do more things like this to really discover who I am and what I can do on my own outside of anybody else, and to be comfortable in my own capabilities without having the crutch of another person with me, if that makes any sense at all. And so far it's actually been pretty great. I've been enjoying having some time on my own, and I've been enjoying learning that I can do things like this. And I love to travel, particularly road trips, and I want to do more travel. And the thing is, there's not always somebody there to travel with you, and you will end up passing up opportunities and not doing things you really want to do for fear of doing them alone if you wait for there to always be somebody. Because let's be real, as adults, we have lives, we have responsibilities, we have varied interests. Not everybody is going to be available to travel with you, but not everybody's going to want to travel with you and do what you're doing particularly. So for example, this trip, I want to go to Arrington Vineyard, but a lot of people don't want to do things like that. So my choices are: go and do this alone, step outside your comfort zone and do it because you want to do it, or don't do it at all and miss the opportunity to do something that I want to do simply because I don't have anybody to drag along with me. And frankly, I'm just not willing to keep saying no in my life to things that I want to do out of fear. And that's all that it really boils down to, is fear and anxiety preventing you from doing things. And I try to remind myself, and it's not always possible, but I try to remind myself to never make a decision based out of fear. Obviously you should take common sense precautions. You should be careful. You shouldn't be, reckless or stupid, but you also shouldn't make all of your decisions from a place of fear and self-doubt and anxiety, because you'll really hold yourself back if you do that, and you'll never do anything. That quote that says growth happens outside of your comfort zone or something like that, and that's very true. So I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone to learn to do things that I want to do, and to stretch myself, and to do things even though I'm afraid to do them. I'm afraid to drive on the interstate alone under certain circumstances, particularly merging or in a city. But I wanted to push myself and say, you can merge onto the interstate without somebody there beside you. Because every time I've merged onto the interstate, I ask whoever's with me, help me merge. Tell me if there's anything there. But then, realistically, in reality, I end up looking for myself and determining when and where I can merge. stop rambling now. So thank you so much for listening, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see my next videos, and I will see y'all next time.